trade colours. No medals in 2024 for the 32-year-old De Vivo, but he has been a continental silver medalist. Karate1Paris, the referee. Now, Hannah, do you study the male fighters and the female fighters?
Of course. It's good to take amazing things from male and female fights to put into your own fights, you know?
Yeah.
Females and males fight very differently, but both have amazing aspects to put into your own calibre.
And what do you do? I mean, do you know these particular fighters, or?
Yes, these particular fighters are absolutely amazing. You see them compete on the world stage all the time.
So it's a question of looking and learning as you go through.
Yes, exactly. Looking and learning, definitely. And I love their pressure. I love their footwork. Footwork is definitely something to take away from all of these fights. How fast their feet move, the way they move, their distance control, it's amazing.
There's a clash encounter straight away. 3 ways to score: punches to the body. If they're standing, it's a 1-point score. If they're onto the floor or any part of the body apart from the feet touch the floor, it's a potentially 3-point score. Kicks to the body, kicks to the head. Takedowns. There's so many ways to score points, Hannah, aren't there?
So many. I love the way that they're applying pressure on each other at the moment. Very intense.
The quick movement there, kick to the body. It didn't quite come off from Figueira. It's a video review request, so he didn't get support from the judges. But it was fast. There's the kick coming in now. Was it blocked? Did it hit the elbow, or did it go under the guard? That's the question. Certainly Figueira thinks it did. What are your thoughts on that, Hannah?
I think that could be in. I think that might have just hit the body, but you never know. I'm not a ref. There's so many things to consider when looking at a point.
You can understand Figueira feeling that it is. The kick goes into the body there.
Yes, absolutely. Could it just be the arms, though?
May have slipped through. You see, as the footage started to run a little bit longer, you could see the hip started to rotate and the kick going in. Now, there's 6 things, lots of things to get right.
It was in.
And it is a 2-point score, and it's a great call because it was Figueira who asked his coach to put the card up, or it's not a card any longer actually, because they have the 3 buttons in front of them, the coaches.
Sometimes as an athlete, you just know. You know when it's in.
That's right. So it's 2 points for Figueira, and he has the senchu to go with that. That gives him the advantage. And in case you're unfamiliar, the senchu advantage would mean if it were 2-2, and let's say they'd all been Yuko scores, and one has a senchu, the advantage is that they would take the match. So it's a powerful point, isn't it? That first unopposed score.
Very powerful. You're certainly looking for those 3 points in a fight. They're very crucial towards the end, but that was an amazing point.
It's a Yuko score for De Vivo.
Oh, wow. But he's not rushing in. He's got so much time. And he still remains with pressure. I love it.
When you're in a position like that, Hannah, maybe you're trailing, how does it affect your mindset?
It's important to stay calm and trust in yourself that you know you can get those next few points to ultimately win the match.
Okay.
And I think that's what he's showing here. He seems very calm.
This is the day 3 of the Karate1 Premier League. This is the finals day, the bronze medal and gold medal bouts, and it's a long competition. It's a long season because there are 4 Karate1 Premier Leagues. Hannah, you no doubt will be intending to compete as many as you can because it's the individual World Championships year, isn't it?
Yes, it's a very important year to be competing on the world stage for the World Championships. I will be competing at hopefully majority of them.
Right. And of course, although you didn't get into a podium position, but you do have the points that go with it, and they're important, aren't they?
It's very important. It puts you in a very good spot, not only the points that you get, but the experience that you're able to get with it. Fighting the world's best, top 32. It's extremely valuable.
And top 32, when you think about the millions of people that practice karate around the world, and in your category, to get onto this tatami, you have to be in that top 32. I mean, already in my mind, you're a champion. That's incredible achievement.
Thank you. It is very tough. It takes a lot of training, a lot of commitment and dedication. And definitely for all these top 32, they're all amazing. You know, what this means to people, it's huge. You can see out on the mat, this means the world to everybody.
Yeah. And world-class sport is about margins, isn't it?
Yes.
Because as you say, that top 32, okay, there are 1 or 2 who are just supersonic. But generally, there are so tight a margin.
Yes,
it could be anyone could win on any day.
It always changes, you know. The difference between some people, as you said, margins.
And now we see the score between these two, 2 points each. Figueroa still has the century advantage. And now De Vivo really going for it, requesting another video review. Just to explain, if you're not familiar with the scores, although the scoreboard is 2-2, the green triangle shows that Figueroa has the century, but also Figueroa scored his with a wasari, a 2-point score. So if at the end of the bout it's a draw in scores and there's a senchu, the senchu takes the advantage and would give the win. If the senchu is lost in the last 15 seconds and it's 2-2, then Figueroa would win because he has a wasari against 2 yuko. That is why De Vivo has to make these strong attacks. He needs to score 3 points to overcome those advantages.
Yes, this last video review is very important. Because as you said, if it lands on a draw, the one with the highest kick wins.
Yeah. And the video review is being rejected. So no card and no point. And there's the win
for an amazing
Figueroa.
Fight. And look at what this means to him. So ecstatic. What an amazing win.
Well, that's why he's a World Games gold medalist, and this is a World Games year.
It is, it is. You're seeing the best fights. Wow.
Such an exciting year. And there's so much karate to be had all around the world, isn't there?
Oh, so much. You have all the opens that you can attend, the Premier Leagues, amazing. Amazing, amazing. Oh, he's so excited.
It must be so difficult for you as an athlete. You can't pick for everyone. How do you choose which ones are so important for you and must attend?
Well, you have to look at your schedule, don't you? And you have to really determine what fits in with your life. At the moment, I'm studying, so I need to determine what fits in with my study life. But definitely the World Championships this year will be the main priority. So to gradually go up and be at your peak for the World Championships is ultimately the goal.
Now, you are from Western Australia, in Perth.
I am, Perth.
And that is a huge continent in itself, isn't it? Australia, 4,000, 3,000 plus miles from one side to the other.
Huge.
So how do you manage to fit in all of the training, all of the travel, and all of the cost? How does all of that work? Do you have a sponsor? Sponsors of Mum and Dad, perhaps?
Mum and Dad are absolutely amazing for me. Definitely a little bit from the bank of Mum and Dad. They are absolutely amazing. I'm sponsored by Budo Nord for Australia. So they help out a lot with the cost of equipment and geese because that's a lot of money.
Yes, it certainly does. It certainly does. And your dad is also your coach.
My
Brian.
dad is my coach, Brian. He is absolutely amazing, and how grateful I am to have someone who loves me to be on my chair. You'll see many athletes actually competing in the final that have a loved one coaching
a brother,
them.
a father, a mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because who knows you better than
Sister.
someone who loves you, you know?
Exactly. Unless you lose, and then they'll tell you off. No, they don't do that, do they?
Maybe a little bit.
So, staying with the minus 67 kilogram. Greece, Azerbaijan. Georgios Baliotis, 2024 European bronze medalist, 19 years of age. (22 years of age), Nuran Arzazade, 12 Yuko, 1 Wasari, and 3 Ippon. Look for those big scores from Arzazade.
To be on the world stage and to be so young, it's absolutely amazing.
I think we've said now there's a kind of changing of the guard, isn't there?
There is.
The young ones are coming up through the ranks, and they're hitting the ground running. I mean, some are coming out of the junior ranks having been already world under-21 champions, and then bang, hitting the guys. And now the referees have just made sure that the clicker systems are all in place and tested. As we get underway for the 3-minute bout, we have Baliotis in red, Greece, and Arzazade, Azerbaijan, wearing blue.
Again, you can see the pressure that they're applying at the very beginning, and that's very important to figure out what kind of a fighter you're fighting and how you're going to play the game, essentially.
Yeah. So, and when you're going through this, you're trying to determine who's going to be passive, who's going to be aggressive, and that can change, ebb and flow throughout the bout.
Yes, it can. It always changes, Billy.
And the different weights, do you, when you're competing or when you're researching athletes, do you focus on one weight category, or do you look at inspiration from everyone?
Inspiration from everyone. The lighter weights, I love how they move. I love how agile they are. I would love to put that in my caliber. The heavyweights, I love how they throw. I love their movement. It's how I would fight because I'm a plus 68.
Yeah.
So it's more how I would look at fighting.
How on earth you can call plus 68 a heavyweight, I have no idea.
I don't know either, Billy.
That's very, very light.
Very light. Definitely not heavyweights.
No. But no, it's great that you study everybody, and it's important that you can learn from people. And the importance also of the knowledge of the rules.
Yes.
So that you can use those rules to your advantage.
The rules are always changing as well. It's important to keep up to date and just know what's going on. And of course, at this level, you have to know what's going on.
Absolutely.
You can't not. It's crucial.
Your decision making is so important, isn't it?
Yes.
Do you make an attack? Is it the right time to go? Should I kick? Should I punch? What will happen? What will be the reaction of my opponent?
Yes. There's so many things to consider and think of.
How much time do you give your study for? Did you see that horrible washi? The hooking kick, incredible from Baliotis. It was all kind of quiet for that, and then bang! You can see how fast karate is, and that hooking kick came up from nowhere from Baliotis.
The timing was perfect. Oh. And then the takedown after as well. Just a little too late, but still amazing.
Tremendous technique. And But is that part of the game where you kind of lull your opponent into a false sense of security and they start thinking, oh, well, this is how it's going to pan out, and then bang.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Spring the trap.
It's all a part of the game, Billy. Just depends how you want to play it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And now, in this situation, we can see that Arizade is here. We go. There's the kick. Look at that. That was incredible. Arizade did the takedown afterwards, but watch the kick come up. Wow!
Just perfection.
Now, just because he ended up on the mat, that doesn't mean to say it wasn't effective, because it was the kick.
Yes, yes.
That was scoring the point.
It's what comes first, isn't it, Billy?
Exactly. And only the first point, first technique that scores.
And to start it off with 3 points as well. Very crucial.
3 points and the Sensu advantage, because there was no score in opposition. Only halfway through the back, though, there's a strong Chudan side kick. He knew, didn't he, that Arizade had to come for him. Stopped him dead in his tracks with that side kick to the body.
Very smart, great timing, great precision.
Knocked him out of his feet, look.
Yeah, it was very strong, wasn't it?
Powerful, wasn't it?
Extremely powerful bunch of men.
Now Baliotis has a huge lead, 5 points. There's a Nippon and a Wasari, and the Sensu advantage. So Arizade, now I'm not suggesting you've ever been in this difficult position, but when you're training like this, how do you start to get yourself back in?
Again, Billy, you have to remain calm and rely on your skills, because ultimately you're on here because you're talented, right? And you have to trust in that talent and trust in your hard work. Definitely remaining on that pressure. Try and make sure that the person who is up, keep them unsettled, in which I think he's doing an amazing job of doing.
And never give up, of course.
Never give up. There's still a minute left and there's still plenty of time to keep going.
A minute is a long time in karate, isn't it? Because the techniques are so quick.
We like to say it's a short time if you're down, but a very long time if you're up.
Yes. We've seen players who have been 5 or 6 points in the lead with just 30 seconds, 40 seconds to go and lose.
Yes, you can see matches change completely with 5, 10 seconds to go.
Because once your opponent starts to come back in strongly, the mindset starts to shift. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And if you take your mind away from your work, you're going to lose, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Video review for blue. Arizade. Look to see, there's a kick and there's a punch. Came in after the kick, looking for that punch. So his right hand was on the shoulder of Baliotis and his left hand did the reverse punch.
It was in.
And this is a classic example of never giving up.
Never
the
giving
first
up.
one missed, the second one was definitely on target.
Absolutely, your first, second, third efforts.
And he'll gain in a bit of confidence from that. He knows he can score. He's still got 53 seconds to go. There's a kick round the back. And there's a video review request. Judges didn't go for it. And for the score, there has to be 2 judges agree that there was a score.
And that trust between your coach and athlete to put up the video review request as well. It's huge.
You see that kick going round the back, Anna. After that little encounter between each other, they close in as he steps back, out, then he throws the kick in.
See it in slow motion?
Now, good form is an important part of the criteria for Ippon. Was the foot position in a good position for you? Have a look when the kick happens. And the kick comes in here as he steps back.
I don't think his
did it
hips
come
quite
in on the
turned
instep
enough.
and slip up? Or did it? Was it
Possibly.
effective? What do you think?
We'll have to wait and see what the judges decide, Billy. But
you're sitting on the fence there, Hannah.
I think possibly it was in.
Wow. Now, this is going to be a huge boost. Oh, come straight back in off the front hand there.
Fabulous.
Caught him completely by surprise. I think Arazade was feeling confident that he's thinking, I can make another attack here, wasn't he?
You can see it. You can see it in his face and his actions. Very confident.
Still 42 seconds though, Hannah.
I love the trust that the coaches and the athletes have in this. You can see that there's so many video reviews that have been accepted.
Yeah.
And that's a fabulous job from the coach.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a fabulous job from the judges?
Yeah.
There's a question.
That is a good question.
Well, remembering it has to be 2 judges that agree.
Yes.
And that's not to say that at least one of them may have gone for a score sometimes. But it's a great. You see that punch there, Hannah? Just before then, as he came in, there's the punch. As they came off the mark. Yes, they're looking at a different technique again. Now, when you're looking at the video review, the video review referee doesn't know what's being asked to consider. They look back over the previous 6 seconds and look for a score.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily mean, though, they're looking at the score you want them to look at.
Yes.
and that is a toughie. That's a tough one. And the coaches have a button on the desk in front of them, so they can press that button when they believe it's a score. But what they don't have the ability to say is, I want a 3-point score to be considered, or a 2-point, or a 1-point. It's just that I believe there was a score. Then the video review team the referee has to look to see if there was indeed any score at all. So we're into the last 11 seconds. It's 6-3 for Baliotis. Up came that kick from Arazade.
The constant pressure, constantly keeping him unsettled. I love how much this means to them, Billy. You can see it.
Baliotis takes the bronze medal. Big smile. Convincing win at the end of the day, wasn't it?
It was a very convincing win. He did an absolutely amazing job. Confident throughout, and he picked his points. Very precise, very amazing. Very strong as well. Young 19-year-old coming up into the division, absolutely amazing.
That feeling, I'm sure you've experienced on many, many, many occasions. What's it like?
Like you're on top of the world. Nothing could bring you down.
The adrenaline, the buzz you get from it, the endorphins flowing through your body.
Oh, wow, look at that hook kick. Wow.
Flexibility, incredible. You spend a lot of time training in that way with your plyometrics and stretching, and
it's very important. There's a lot that comes into play when you're training for these big events. Flexibility is always a must. You know, you have to be able to get your leg up there, because if you can't get those 3 points, as you were saying, that could be detrimental if there were possibly a tie. So always, your strength comes into play, your agility comes into play, your fitness, all of it.
Staying with the male minus 67 kilogram category, this time it is the gold medal encounter, and this is between Japan and Turkey. Kozaki Yugo, top fighter from Japan. Omar Abdurrahman Ozair, 24 years of age from Tokyo, was third in Antalya last year. Mayoto Tuni, the referee for the bout. Kozaki Yugo, Karate1 silver medalist in Casablanca. He was third in Antalya. He was first in Dublin in 2023. Omar Abdurrahman Ozair was third in Antalya. He's the world cadet champion in 2015. So we get underway, 3-minute bout once more. And once more, we see that kind of testing period, Hannah.
Yes, yes, definitely testing with their hands a lot. Lots of small movements with their feet. Very nice test there. It's a very, very tense first 30 seconds, isn't it?
It is. I mean, from a physical point of view, there's a little happening, but I'm sure in your mind is buzzing.
A lot is going on in your head. The right timing, the right moment, what you're going to do, the right technique. Listening to your coach as well, because they're talking from the background and trying to block out the background noise as well. There's a lot going on, Billy.
Yeah, indeed.
But you can see they're trying to figure out the right timing, what the other person's reaction is. Because depending on the other person's reaction, helps you figure out what technique you're going to do. You can see both of their reactions are very good.
And when you stop like this and you're kind of resetting the situation, do you feel, oh, this time I think I'll come off the line really fast, or I'll just continue to play it carefully? It could be any of that, I guess.
It could be. Personally, at the very beginning, I think it's because they're still testing, they're still trying to figure it out. Very tense.
You know, if you're not familiar with karate, you may look at this and be forgiven to think, oh, hang on, what kind of sport is this? What's happening? There's not much going on here.
Of course.
What would you say to those people?
Well, there's just more to consider. You know, their athleticism, look at how low they are in their stance. Look at how concentrated they are. It's more than just kicking and punching and doing lots, you know?
Yeah.
There's more to think about. And as you said, there are 6 scoring criteria.
Yep. Yeah. And indeed. And you've got to get every one of those
every single one of those right.
To score a point. We did. We got a point there. Right on cue. Kozaki takes the first score, a Yuko, and he'll get the Senchu advantage. That's almost like worth 2 points, isn't it?
It is. Well, the other person now has to get 2 points to win.
Yes. And you can see the dynamic of the bout changing immediately after that first point is scored.
Immediately, well, because now there's something to chase for, there's something to work for.
The roles have kind of been determined.
Yes.
One's the passive, one's the aggressor, one's the defender.
Yes, and it's important, even though you're still up on points, to continue looking for them, to continue seeking more and more and more.
And Omar Ozair did exactly that, didn't he? He's now got himself on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. Definitely now you can see the roles have changed. There's a lot more happening. Technique-wise, a lot more happening. You know, there's always still the mentality of it, what you're thinking, but now obviously with 18 seconds left, we need to see techniques to win or continue winning.
Jose needing another score and gets it. Now, because all 4 scores that we've seen, 2 from each side, have been 1-point scores, if Jose can force Kozaki to an error, he would lose the senchu. In the meantime, he's got 5 seconds to do so. Jose is standing in close. Now, is the referee going to be satisfied that he was being okay? You see, Jose was obviously trying his hardest to force that error, and in fact, he's got himself into trouble. Comes in close again, and there is a video review request from both coaches. Be interesting here because Kozaki's coach may very well have thought, well, I want to just diffuse this a little bit. Do you think it was a tactical call for
Absolutely, absolutely. You never know, Billy. Just in case, maybe if he gets his video review request accepted.
Great, but if he doesn't, it's taking the sting out of the tail of
Yes, and definitely tactical, trying to make him force an error so that it ends up in a draw. Very tactical, especially with the last few seconds left.
Both video reviews are being considered. There was the kick from Kozaki, and there was the technique punch from Jose, and both have been rejected. And the clock is 0, so it's a win by the senchu advantage. And the gold medal from Kozaki Yugo.
A very tense fight.
Very tense indeed. All smiles though.
Absolutely, when you've just won a gold medal at the Premier League in Paris.
Absolutely. Because, the Premier Leagues are pretty much like the World Championships, aren't they?
Yes, absolutely. We've got the highest.
In fact, they could be hard. It's tougher than World Championships.
Well, now that the World Championships have changed to round robin.
How do you feel about that?
It's a big change. It's a big change. But I think I like it better. It means that especially coming all the way from Australia, you're guaranteed 3 fights.
Yes.
No matter what.
Yes.
So you don't come here anymore and you go, hopefully I keep making it through rounds.
A minute 30 seconds of the bout and you've lost, and you go all the way back again, and everyone's saying, how did you do? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
not as
absolutely
good as I
devastating,
hoped.
right? You spend all this money, all this time and practice and for 1 round.
Yes.
But definitely 3 rounds here, it makes a big difference coming all the way across the world.